Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. All right, happy Halloween. 2 weeks before Halloween now, but more importantly, happy good weather. I really should have said Peter Like Show. Right now we have a high of 82 degrees. During the nighttime, it's pretty cool, right? And I realized this week just how badly I Peter dislike hot weather, and it's very interesting the phenomenon that I noticed. I noticed that when the weather is cooler, I tend to make slower, methodical decisions rather than jump from one bad decision to the next. Right. Most crucially, um, I move a lot. As an adjunct professor, they send me to different campuses, and then I want to move closer, right? And I don't always find the best of roommates, in large part because I'm leaving one bad roommate situation or maybe one bad commute, and I'm desperate and I jump, right? I was just talking to one of my students. She's moving into her first place out of her parents' place, and she gets along with her family, and she doesn't seem to appreciate. I told her not to take for granted the fact that her parents welcome her, because there's nothing worse than feeling compelled to move out of one place and then not being able to make good, rational decisions, right? And unfortunately, she's a little bit too young to understand the concept. I think one day she will appreciate it. I'm trying to plant a seed right now. But this is one of those things that you probably have to learn the hard way. At least most people do, unfortunately. But hot weather obviously a lot of times forces the hand. Right? When the weather's not so hot and you can move at your leisurely pace. For example, I have a storage locker, and a lot of when it's hot, I'm in and out of there real quick. The amount of mess in my storage locker or even in my car is often directly proportional to how terrible the weather is, right? Oh, I'm serious. The mess in my storage locker, you could use that as your thermometer. You really can. You really can. But it's not just housing that gets affected by hot weather. A lot of rash decisions get made when you're uncomfortable. So, for example, today I had a really nice conversation with one of my colleagues at work, and he wanted to potentially hire me to tutor one of his family members. And I told him, I'll go home and chew on that thought. I can't really make any promises right now because, there's a lot going on, but that sounds like a good idea. And I avoided making too many rash commitments. Now, if the weather were hot, that might have played out a very different way, right? Not necessarily because I need the money, but my mental capacity just shrivels up when it's hot, and I feel compelled to make closure on things, right? There's nothing worse than it being hot and then there's a lot of uncertainty up here. It's hard to explain. Also, in the dating scene, a lot of times hot weather forces hands in weird ways. There's nothing worse than it being hot and being all alone. That combination, I cannot get over it. Next time, if my girlfriend and I split, I probably will not spend a summer here in Phoenix again, because there's nothing worse than that feeling. I hope nobody ever experiences it. It's hot, you're alone, and you have to deal with everything alone. I mean, I don't live with my girlfriend, but even just having somebody to talk things over with seriously reduces the stress of that. But again, it forces the hand, right? When it's cooler and I'm more tolerant of being alone, I'd still date, but I wouldn't feel like my hand was forced, right? And the cooler weather just relaxes so many things. When I'm moving and I'm going in between my car, my storage unit, the next place, and my old place, I could take my leisurely time. I'm not feeling like I'm some kind of a time crunch every time I move a couple of things. If I see opportunities in my career, I can take my leisurely time. I'm not forced to make this. And same thing with the dating scene and with any other decision I need to make, right? When I'm thinking about where I want to go to eat, even, right? I'm sitting in my car. I'm not feeling rushed by that decision, right? Hot weather just kind of forces everything to move a million miles an hour because otherwise you feel like you're going to collapse, right? Anyway, I don't know if anybody has ever felt that way, but it feels like I can actually be methodical and make good, rational decisions. But now, right? This is the Peter Like Show. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Like Show. Bum 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 bum. Sing it with me. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Like Show. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Like Show. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Like Show. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Like Show. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Like Show. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Like Show. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Like Show. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Like Show. Bum 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 bum.